Hello and welcome to the Calculator Review, hosted on caliquin.com. It's been quite a while since I last did a calculator review, so I'm kind of excited to be doing this again. So I would like to do more interesting calculators because doing the standard basic functionality calculators isn't really fun anymore. I'll figure out what to do with those. So today's calculator is the, forgive my pronunciation of this, the Langenscheidt German electronic translation machine and calculator. It can translate German to English, English to German, and it apparently has 8,000 words for travel, business, and school. I'm not sure what year this came out, but my guess is sometime probably in the 90s, just based on this packaging. It's got a very 90s, maybe late 80s look to it, but I think this might be a little more advanced than something that would have come out in the 80s, but I genuinely don't know. But anyway, so we'll get this open, and as you can see, it's a pretty nice looking case. It's kind of a fake leather. It's got an L for Langenscheidt. I'm not entirely sure if I'm pronouncing that right. So before I get to the calculator, it comes with a manual, but honestly this thing's pretty easy to figure out even without it. And yeah, so there's quite a bit here. So anyway, the calculator's a little switch to turn it on, and this is currently in calculator mode. The keys feel alright. They're kind of those little chiclets, I guess is what they're called. Not the best things to do calculations with, but not terrible either. So as you'll notice, these buttons aren't doing anything in the actual calculation portion, and that's because these buttons are reserved for translation. So I don't know any German words, so this is the German to English calculator, but I'm going to go with the English to German calculator. And we'll translate the word calculator. So oh, my bad. Let's start over. It's been a while since I've used this. So A, B, C, that would be the first letter of the A. No. Oh, darn it. Okay, maybe I will need the manual. So, translating on this thing is a nightmare. Trying to type in a word, as you can see, is not exactly easy. So trying to get to the word that you want, you have to type it in. There's no pad to type things in, so you have to do these letters individually, and they made this incredibly difficult to use. So as you can see, I don't like it. It's a neat idea to have a translation device in a calculator, but this is executed so poorly. If you're trying to use this while communicating with someone, it might be useful as like a last resort desperate thing, but honestly you can find better things. I mean, a book would make it easier than using this calculator. Granted, this is a bit smaller than a English to German translator, but it would be easier to communicate with a book in hand than this, because you could just flip to the page. But with this, trying to type, isn't fun at all. Anyway, so here's the word cage, and it'll give me the translation. I'm not going to attempt to calculate. Oh, no, go back. Calculate. would be Rechnen, I guess. Um, yeah. Cake would be... Yeah, so it doesn't even really tell you how to pronounce it either, so this is not a very useful device. So I'll go back to the calculator because that's the stuff I do now. It, like I said, it's pretty basic functionality. You got your addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and you do percentages. Woo. It does have memory built in, which is nice, but that's pretty standard on calculators. But overall, I do like the way this thing looks. So I know I've been criticizing it this whole time, but this is actually one of the most unique looking calculators I have in my collection. You just don't see a yellow and blue color scheme very often, so I really liked it, and that's the main reason I got it, because I just really, really like the way this thing looked, and I love this little protective cover. I like that it has a little slot for the manual, so if this were something that you wanted to carry around with you while traveling, it would definitely look nice. It just would not be practical. The other issue is because it runs on... Oh, this is interesting. Oh, okay, we do have a year, 1984. That's a lot earlier than I was expecting. So I have never actually pulled this thing out of its little pouch, but there's a contrast toggle thingy on here. So let's see how that affects it. Okay, so that just kind of darkens the screen. Doesn't actually make the lettering better. Clear memory. Okay. So it doesn't actually improve the lettering, it just darkens the background. I'm not entirely sure what use that serves. Actually, looking at it from different angles, it does make it worse. So I'm not sure what situation would require the use of that, but that is an interesting feature. I've never seen that on a calculator before. So to change out the batteries, if you were taking this traveling, you'd have to remove these two screws, which I'm not going to do here. Looks like it takes 3 watch batteries. Yeah, not the most impressive thing, but I mean, for 1984, I guess that would have been pretty novel back then. Today, there are way better translation devices out there. I wouldn't recommend this even in the 1980s. It really does come across as more of a novelty thing than anything. So yeah, that's the Langenscheidt German electronic translation machine and calculator. This company does make other language calculators. I saw Spanish, French, and a few others. There's no official website or anything. I'm guessing this company is long out of business. The only real information I can find are just other eBay listings. And yeah, so that's the Langenscheidt German electronic translation machine and calculator. I hope you enjoyed this, and have a great day. Bye!